Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Thursday, October 29th, 2020. My name is Rich, and joining me once again this week is Bijan. How you making out?
I'm good, my man. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's another ninja night. It's always a good night.
Yeah. Dude, I'm excited. It's crazy. We're already here at the semifinals. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're only going to have one more episode, right? Like, there's just one night of the finals.
I think so. We're going to find out the hard way. Probably we'll end up watching it and be a big to be continued at the end of it. I feel bad that we're not more up on this, but I think it is just one episode.
It's got to be, because there's only like 24, like, correct me if I'm wrong, there's only 12 people moving on from this semifinal and last episode, so there's 24 people altogether, right? Or is there
yes.
maybe two women, so maybe that mixes it up also? But either way, there's less than 30 people running.
Yeah, less than 30. Sounds right.
So it's got to be one episode. I mean, you can fit 30 people or less than that into 2 hours. So, man, yeah, I think we just got one episode left. That's crazy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But yeah, short season. I don't know. I'm a little torn, right? It's great to have it back, but it is just kind of like a tease.
Hey, I'll take whatever I can get. It's more than most. I mean, one of my favorite shows is Survivor. Not getting that until like fall of next year, if that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, at least we got some Ninja Warrior, and I really like the change up. Like, you know, we've had 11 seasons, I think. Is that 11 season? Yeah, 11 seasons at this point. This is the 12th. So it's nice having some form of change up, you know? And I don't know. I think this format that they've had overall has been safe, responsible, but also very entertaining. I've liked it. That said, this was a very strange episode. It wasn't a bad episode, but it was a little weird, and I'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah, and you sidetracked me a little bit, because all I can think is Survivor's not on? Like, that would be the safest place to be right now, right? Put them on a secluded island?
Right?
Like, actually, I guess it wouldn't seem like as much of a challenge. Be like, lucky people, they get to go out and hang out, and yeah.
Yeah, it's the ultimate quarantine in a way. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't want to go too much into that, but I think there's like a lot of contracts and stuff like that with like countries of the reason why.
Sure. All right, so let's get into this episode. Similar course, but not the same. Very glad to see Corkscrew back again.
Bro, I mean, I'm curious your thoughts, but this course looked rough. Like, this course looked so hard. I feel so bad for the people having to go on this one, you know, after last week. Like, last week was no joke, but this one looked way harder.
Yeah, I think there was so many similar obstacles that it would be easy to get burned out, right? Like, it's very strange to have spring forward and clockwork. Like, I don't understand why both of them were like back to back like that.
Well, the thing is, like, pretty much every obstacle other than the balance one is targeting your forearms and grip strength. Like, every single one is to wear you down. So by the time, like, there's probably a reason a lot of people were slipping on that final obstacle, the spider climb, where we usually don't see that. It's just, like, people are worn out. And not even before that, right? Like, the obstacle is getting there. Like, it's just a lot of wear and tear on your hands. I feel for them. It was probably painful as all heck to get through.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. We really need to go through the course again. We did that last episode. It's similar enough. I don't really... Do you want to talk about any of the new obstacles that came in this week? Slingshot? I mean, it's all kind of familiar.
Nah, just tough. I mean, at the end of the day, that's all I gotta say is it's tough.
Yeah.
But, yeah. How many finishers did we get this episode? Was it 6?
Oh, God. Something like that.
I think it was 6. And I'm pretty sure 3 of those people, like out of all the people, 6 made it through. Maybe I'm wrong, but close to that number, right? And 3 of those were skipped. They skipped 3 people completing the course, man.
I don't understand.
Like, what's going on? Because if it was like previous seasons, it's fine because they'll get their time to shine in the final episode. We'll get to know them over the course of the Vegas finals and everything. We've got one episode left. And not only that, that episode is featuring 24 people, a very small amount of ninjas. So it would be quite nice to get to know these ninjas in particular, right? To root for them. But at this point, I'm like, I know Lucas Reale. He looks very promising, but I don't really know him. Like, if I was a typical viewer, I feel bad for that dude. I mean, like, what do you know about the guy at this point? It's just, I don't know, man. It was a lot of skipping ninjas where I'm like, you didn't really need to. I understand you don't want to, like, put shine on everybody. I understand that point, but it was a little too much.
Yeah, it's kind of the unnecessary. What do I say this? A necessary evil in some ways, though, too, because of the format of the show and everything's condensed down. All of this just packed full of our favorite ninjas, so they have to pick and choose. So yeah, if you're gonna, I've got some other ones to talk about that they fast forward. It didn't make any sense, but we'll let's go through some of the runs here. Let's just kind of get into that. But yeah, I agree. The editing was a little odd. I don't know. Verdal Benson, first guy up. Absolutely ripped. Gripping Jack dude.
I met him in real life. This dude is a tank in person. This dude is so huge.
I thought you had. I knew that. I was like, why was he one of the guys that was in like the interviews with you and stuff?
Yeah. He was in the interview thing. Really, really humble, chill dude. But like he stands out. Like we're all chilling there, and there's this dude that is muscle upon muscle, and you're like, yo, how many steaks a day do you eat? Like this man is so muscular in real life. He looks like a wrestler. He's massive, and you just see him, and you're like, man. You know what, like, if you guys know Dave Bautista, right? He's the actor now, but in wrestling, he was well known for, like, always pulling a muscle, because he's just so muscular. Like, this man, you see him in real life, you're like, you're gonna do some ninja obstacles and, like, try to not tear, like, half your muscles? But he finds a way to do it. This man is strong, and in many ways, I like seeing somebody like him, and the fact that he does not look like your typical skinny, lanky, or compact little ninja warrior, you know?
Yeah, one of the great things about Ninja is there is no defined body type or athlete. It is just such a wild variety, and we had a lot of that this episode. Verdal, very solid on the course, ended up going out on the corkscrew. A good solid first run of the night.
I mean, I don't... Once again, look at this dude. That corkscrew is going to be real tough. And, I mean, I kid, but I'm also very glad he didn't pull any muscles or anything. But, I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Thomas Stillings got fast forward. I got to mention him. Thomas,
what
one of our favorites.
Oh, my gosh. Thomas Stillings. Bleh.
He got the full treatment the first time around, so we'll let it slide this time.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I got to say, if you're listening, or Zoe, or anyone close to Thomas, he's got to bring the pants back. It's the magic of the pants. It's so great for TV. They're dying for it. Bring it back, please. You'll get featured every time.
Yeah, as somebody that hates people, showing off stuffed dolls and people eating cake, at least the pants are entertaining to some degree. Please give me something, because I can't take any more cake eating. I can't.
Yes, and don't bring a genie lamp to the course, whatever you do.
Oh, man. Don't you do it. Thank you, Rich. Oh, man. I'm getting triggered for no reason. Woo!
All right. Thomas went out on corkscrew as well. I would have loved to see that. Like, I loved that brief little clip we got of him just doing the first two. Something about the way he did it was amazing. He just spun himself in a full circle, like, really quick.
It was crazy. And honestly, once again, even the brief time that we got to see it, Thomas was showing off a lot of his personality. This dude, like, exudes charisma. And I'm not trying to be biased just because, like, he's a friend of the podcast. But, like, seriously, this dude's super charismatic and entertaining. It's crazy that they don't show off his personality more.
Yeah. Yeah. Start him at the wall. That's all we would have needed. Like, minute and a half would have been fine.
Yeah, great point. We don't need to see all the run, but at least I love those half runs. I hope they do more of that kind of stuff.
Next up, we had Dan Polizzi, one of the Towers of Power. And I got to say, as much as, some of the screens and other things that have been going on and people read them on, it's hard to draw you in through a screen. I was loving Brandon Mears with his son cheering on Dan. I thought that was great.
They're great cheerleaders. I loved it. And his son is so likable. You see how, I don't know. That little kid is so adorable and so passionate.
Yeah, it was great. Dan ended up doing really well this episode, going out on the dungeon in the end, but really crushed it. Was able to beat the corkscrew. He is not, I don't know if I just didn't notice this before, he is not quite as big as I thought he was. When they said he was 6'1", 180 pounds, that's not nearly as big as I was thinking.
No, it's Brandon Mears that's like the big one.
Right.
I think Brandon Mears is like 6'5" or something like that. But Dan Polizzi, he's still tall. I mean, I'm 5'11", and I have a friend that's 6'1". That dude is tall. Like that 2 inches. I don't know. It's a weird thing where you hit 6 feet and all of a sudden you just seem immeasurably taller than everybody else. It's a weird thing. I don't know that life, but I know my friends definitely do. But yeah, Brandon Mears, he really hits that sweet spot of he's a big dude, but he wears it well, like well for a Ninja Warrior. And also, or Dan Polizzi, sorry. But Brandon Mears, like, I love the fact that Brandon Mears is a really good cheerleader on the side for Dan Polizzi in his skill set. And also, one last thing. Less of the bro shtick, more of this superhero firefighter shtick. I love it.
Yeah, they didn't play up the wrestling thing this time as much. So they had Semgray in the video, but didn't actually mention him at all. They kind of leaned into that. Their wrestling connections as well before.
Yeah.
But yeah, out in the dungeon. Good run for Dan.
Did he make it through? Because I know
yeah,
like the judging was a cutting off point. Okay, cool.
Yep. Corkscrew was a cut. Actually, Thomas Stillings moves on too.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm going to laugh so hard. Like, not in a mean-spirited way, but I'm going to laugh so hard Thomas Stillings wins this whole season. They just, like, skipped, like, all that stuff. Oh, man, that'll be so beautiful in so many ways.
Next on the course is Megan Martin, and that's when I realized how stacked this field was going to be with the Lady Ninjas this time around.
Yeah, I mean, this was the episode with the female ninjas. First off, Megan Martin looking absolutely fantastic. Like she really looks in great shape, in good spirits. And congratulations to Megan Martin with her engagement and everything.
Yeah, that was cool. She has like 100 different titles and responsibilities, everything that they run through every time. It's funny that they tagged fiance onto all that now.
Yeah, and they said that she works for ESPN also now. Like, do you know what she covers for ESPN?
They said she does the commentary for climbing, which makes sense.
Really? That's awesome. Like, that's a perfect fit for her.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, she ended up going out on burn rubber. This is the first time. I didn't look it up. I trust her. She said that's the first time she's fallen on a balance obstacle.
Yeah, that was shocking. I feel like every ninja's fallen on a balance obstacle at this point. Yeah, I mean, it gets the best of them.
I should mention, it was a weird time in the podcast to mention, but I just remembered as we were going through when I talked about the female ninjas. So Will, our good friend, Will from 222 Productions.
Another bum.
He wrote in to give us a heads up on some of the behind the scenes on this, because did you wonder why Jerry DeRilio was there, for example? Because I'm pretty sure she didn't qualify originally.
I mean, no, but that's a very good point.
So he sent in a little bit of information. He said that Ethan Swanson got sent home because he was around Julius Ferguson, who had tested positive for COVID.
Oh,
so they were both out. Rachel Goldstein backed out because she broke her finger, and Jerry DeRilio took her place.
Okay, well, I mean, that's unfortunate, but I'm glad once again that they're playing it safe, Things happen. It's a pandemic.
Yep, they must have been testing like crazy for this whole thing.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the right thing to do. That's great. I mean, we hear MMA is going on, but they test like constantly, and it seems like every card a fight bows out because somebody tests positive. But at least they're doing those testing, because if you're going to take that risk, it's important to constantly test, and then prevent a widespread pandemic. I mean, imagine all these athletes, might catch it and bring it home. I mean, that's really scary. So I'm sure everybody involved was very happy that they caught it. And I wish, everybody stayed healthy and was okay. But I mean, that's good to hear, honestly, that they took those measures.
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we had a fast forward worth mentioning, David Wright, the cake ninja.
I mean, is it? But okay.
Yeah, we got to mention him, of course.
He likes cake. All right, cool.
He was grinning up a storm. It looked solid up to the dungeon, where unfortunately he did end up falling.
Too much cake, man. Slip your hands.
Lay off the cake. But after him was, oh God, I'm going to mess up this name. Amir Malik?
Yeah, Amir
his
Malik.
Teammate. He ended up having a really entertaining run. He actually steals the show when he's on the course. He's absolutely grinning ear to ear. Very fluid.
Very entertaining.
Very entertaining. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I want to see more of that guy. Less with the shit, you know. But this guy, I mean, he seems very entertaining. I mean, we got like a sad story about him. I mean, I don't want to disrespect it or like make it small, but it's like it was another like sad thing. But luckily, we didn't get too much of that this episode. And in many ways, I really like the fact that this guy, as you said, he's just got a very positive, good, vibrant vibe about him. I mean, this is the type of stuff that I like to see. I have to imagine he's going to be very popular with kids, in particular little girls. And yeah, I could see him honestly being a big star if he continues with his stuff. I'm really high up on him if you haven't guessed, but I really could see this guy being somebody pretty big.
Oh, we're not editing, so you had to hear my dog.
Hey, that's fine.
So, I don't know. I might have to take it out, but we'll see. So, he did amazingly well on the course and ended up going on a spider trap. He was struggling so much. I thought for sure he was going to take this whole thing down in his rookie season. He wasn't quite able to do it, though.
Yeah, that sucks. But, I mean, spider trap, it's deceptively a lot harder than it seems. For any of those type of spider obstacles, it's very technique-based more than you might think. And it uses muscle groups that in everyday life you just don't necessarily work out, if that makes sense, Like, first time I did it, there was no way. And I had to really work hard to even get to the point where I could hold myself up and climb upwards. And I was really sore for a while. So all I'm saying is basically the people that work out and train on these types of obstacles can do it very easily, as you can see. But if you're just a newbie at it or don't necessarily train on it all that often, like holding your body up like that, it can be really, really taxing. And add on to that, like all the obstacles that took in place beforehand. I mean, I don't fault this kid at all.
No, and I think without the traps, if he was just trying to do like a regular spider climb, he'd probably been fine. It was the added, and look like he's having some traction problems with the shoes. Not entirely that, but at least might have played a factor in the whole thing.
Yeah, 100%. We don't know. Maybe, I mean, it's indoors, so I don't think it was that issue that they had a few years ago where there was like, like wetness on the.
I was thinking
remember
the same
Ninja versus
thing.
Ninja and all that. But
at least
I
it's
don't
indoors.
think it's that. Yeah.
I loved it when he ended up falling on the. I didn't like when he fell, but I like that as he was laying there. I know, a terrible way to phrase that. I liked as his teammates came up and he ribbed his teammate for doing better than him. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, that was fun.
After him, we had a fast forward that shouldn't have happened. I am so annoyed at this fast forward. Sean Bryan, one of the top ninjas in the sport, went out on slingshot. Would have been like a crazy dramatic out of nowhere fall, and we get a fast forward of it.
I damn near spit out my water because I was drinking at the time, and dude, I was like, Sean Bryan came on screen. I was like, what? I was stunned. And doesn't matter if he falls earlier or not. Like, this is Sean Bryan. Oh, the other thing was they're acting like it's like, oh, Sean Bryan, the Papal Ninja, blah, blah, blah. Or they didn't even call him like, they're just like, oh, Sean Bryan, a gymnast or something like that, right? Like, it was just like, we know. Are you kidding me? This is Sean Bryan, the dude that almost won American Ninja Warrior. Like, give this dude some respect, okay? Like, he's up there with Daniel Gill, okay? Like, he's not just a ninja. He's Sean freaking Bryan. I don't know. That kind of annoyed me. So
Yeah. Well,
so
he
I
got
don't
lots of
know.
attention. So the people that got fast forwarded, a lot of them this time around, were ones that got featured in the qualifier, to be fair. Like Sean
True.
did have a full feature, and he got to be in the Power Tower race against RJ Roman. It was a whole big thing. So he did get lots of attention in the last one.
Oh, I got some stuff to say about what they did to my man RJ Roman, but we'll get there. But once again, weird episode in terms of editing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was, as you said, this had potential of being one of those shocking moments, like kind of like Melissa Martin, right? So, or Megan Martin, sorry. So, a little shocking that they didn't, do that.
All right. Next up, we had Najee Richardson with a big segment. Lots of attention.
Hang on. Or you continue. I just got to get my bell very quick.
Okay. Najee looking as strong as ever. He really. They mentioned, we saw with the water walls a couple of years ago that he did have struggle with his asthma, but they've never really brought it up on the course before. I guess because it was so heavily impactful to this particular run for him, I guess they had to address it. So very interesting and probably very inspiring for people with asthma, like young kids with asthma and that feel like less than athletic, let's say, if they're having struggles in gym class or with their friends. And I think it's really inspiring for him to show that, everybody has struggles that they have to overcome, and he didn't let it define him, and he ended up being the first to take down the course. Was very, very happy for that.
Really? That's okay. First off, shame to Rich. Like, okay, he has asthma. Cool. They talk about asthma. All right, we're just gonna skip over the amazing, inspiring segment, visually profound video of the night, of the Black Lives Matter movement, and kind of very important stuff happening. But okay, Rich.
Okay, so you were going to eat your bell, and I was going to give you the chance to talk about that because it would make more sense for you to speak to it than me.
I feel you. I just want to tease. But seriously, this was, in my opinion, one of the super highlights, not only of this episode, but of the season and maybe the series as a whole. Is them highlighting, Ninjas for Black Lives, and one thing that I really liked about this was it wasn't just ninjas wearing an armband or, a shirt or something. They actually dedicated a segment and explained it. And really, went to a vulnerable place and talked about a matter that, unfortunately, is very divisive. And I don't understand why it's divisive. It's pretty simple. Hey, my life matters, Doesn't mean your life doesn't matter, Rich, but guess what? My life matters also, Yeah. But I'm not gonna, preach and blah, blah, blah to everyone. But what I will say is getting comfortable and realizing that people in any background, whether it's LGBT, Latinx, Black X, or anything else, everybody can be any way they act or have any interests or anything like that. And the more people just see people of color in ways that might not be represented in movies or whatever else, it just makes for a better dynamic of people understanding, hey, stereotypes may not just be representative of an entire overarching thing. And Ninja Warrior does that very well, and I once again appreciate the whole factor of Ninjas for Black Lives. Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox. I can talk forever, but that's it.
I know, and I'd love to too, but unfortunately that's not what we're here to talk about. In some ways, it's good to call it out. It's good to appreciate it because I definitely appreciate it, and I know lots of other people do too. So thank you, Ninja Warrior. I really didn't think that they would allow so much of that to come into the episodes, and I appreciate that they did.
Yes, and I'll just leave it at this. I appreciate the fact that we don't have to have a certain terrible Ninja Warrior that recently came out being very, very just horrible in their political views, not any affiliated with the show anymore. I was horrified by some of the political views of a certain Ninja Warrior. And
Oh,
not
right.
in like a... Yeah, I don't even want to get into it, but it's pretty terrible. But what I will say, also, my man, is I'm going to have to think about it, but I think this might be my run of the night also. I mean, Najee Richardson was killing it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good.
How'd you feel about him doing the inhaler? I'm 100% fine with it, but I just know if I go online, there are going to be people having a problem with it. I just know it.
I kind of thought maybe they would, but I mean, come on. Like, really.
Right?
It's for a medical reason. He's not, like, dosing himself here before he does something. It's pretty clear.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's got a problem with it, shame on you. I mean, I just have a feeling, because you know how Twitter trolls are and everything. I just know there are people being like, "Man, he took an inhaler. Shame on it." It's like, shut up.
Right. Yeah, it's all good. We next had, oh boy, Will Schlageter, the Clark Kent looking guy. I really feel like Matt's got to step up his comparisons. He's really showing his age at times. Like, I get all of his references and stuff, but he's got some old references.
Calling him out, man. I mean, you're not wrong, but geez.
Yeah, I mean, when he references, what is it? Fast Times at Ridgemont High is the one that always gets me. And it's like, no one knows who Spicoli is. I mean, sorry, and no one under the age of 40 probably knows who Spicoli is.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he's used that reference like over and over and over again. But yeah, Will was really good. He was one of the guys that was saved by Joe Moravsky. So considering how much hate Joe got for that whole segment, which we'll get back, I want to get back to later when Joe runs. I really thought it was nice to have Will back on the course, and I thought he did really well. Ended up going out on corkscrew, but he's pretty entertaining, pretty jacked for a nerdy guy.
Yeah, super jacked. I'll be honest with you, this could have been one of the runs that could have been replaced by any of the other ones that we were complaining about. I would take a half run of Sean Bryan and Genie Ninja over this one. It was fine, but it did nothing for me.
I think he had a pretty decent segment the first time around, so I was a little surprised to see him get another one, to be honest. But yeah, it's all good. We had some fast forwards of some the veterans, Lauren Ball, Brian Kretsch, and David Campbell.
I kind of like that they paired them all. I mean, if they all, didn't move on, I think this is a good way to represent and show them in a respectful manner.
Yeah, it was all right. Especially since we know David Campbell got a big segment the first time around. Lauren ended up going out on Burn Rubber. Brian Kretsch went out on Corkscrew. And David Campbell also went out on Corkscrew. That obstacle is pretty brutal.
Yeah. I think I'm getting a theme. I'd have to go back, but is it pretty common? I have to imagine, like, for at least Kretsch and David Campbell, I feel like it's the newer obstacles that they can't train, ahead of time, that you tend to get them. I'll have to look back. I could be completely wrong, but I feel like if I think about it, that's usually what gets them. Or a balance obstacle.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah, I guess we've seen a few bounce along the way from both Brian. Actually, all three. Yeah, that sounds... Balance seems to be the most common. Otherwise, they just tend to go mid-tier into the back half of the course and get skipped for the fact that they like skipping them.
Yeah.
Next up, we had Lance Pekus, and this is the one that almost got me. I actually got through the whole episode, no tears this time. Almost got me with Lance's wife being able to ride a horse again. That is really nice. I'm glad that she's able to do that again.
Yeah, I like the fact that they respectfully give an update to his living situation, but don't overdo it. I love this, where they give a brief glimpse of the life, and it seems to be all positive vibes and everything like that. I mean, we've talked about this enough. They could have easily milked his situation with his wife, but I really love the fact that they're respectful of it. Yes,
positive is good. Shows a good progress update. All good. Better than... Yeah, I'm not going to get into it, but I mean, there are ways for them to cheese it up, and they will lean heavily into it sometimes.
Yeah.
Lance did was looking really strong. I thought he was going to go deep, but unfortunately he ended up going out on burn rubber.
That was shocking, man. Because Lance, I mean, as you said, he was looking strong, and he's pretty well built for this course. And yeah, it sucks to see him go. I really feel like Sean Bryan and Lance Pekus, like, if they had a chance to get like a safety pass or something like that, like I could have seen them easily make it to the finals and probably do very well.
Next up we had, I've got Alex Nye. I don't know who that is. Must be one of the fast forwards. I took down.
It was a fast forward. They did a little thing, with the Bill Nye Science Guy phrasing. I forgot what Matt Eisman said, but it was something like that.
I just realized. So I had copied down a lot of this. So I must have accidentally fast forwarded over a couple people because I don't even remember seeing Tiana. So I must have got a little over anxious on the commercials. I missed that. So she must have been fast forward. She ended up going out on Clockwork.
Yeah, she did. It was like a little update skip. I don't know. Sucks. I'm more interested to talk about Maddie, honestly, because this was awesome. I love Maddie. Like, Maddie Howard is such a rising star. And I think the world, like, her story's amazing. I mean, you can't not like her. And I don't know. She's very well, not only built, but like, she's athletic. She does well in Ninja Warrior. She's got a personality. Her background's amazing. Like, she's a star in the making, in my opinion.
Yeah. Just jot her down for the next 5 seasons. Like, don't let her go anywhere. And like, what a sideline! She's got Jessie Graff and Megan Martin cheering her on from the sidelines. Like, yeah, that's a pretty good cheering squad to have.
Yeah, like, I'm sure Megan Martin and Jessie Graff are good friends, but they're there for a reason. They are attaching the top female stars to this woman because they are shooting that rocket pack right up there for her hype train.
Do not overhype this lady. She has great potential. She's doing really well. Do not give her the Casey treatment, for the love of God.
Yeah. I don't know. Matisse was the one I was worried about. They've actually done they were really good with Matisse this season. Honestly, a little undershown, really. But I was really worried about Matisse going into the season with that. But yeah, I mean, so far so good, man.
Unfortunately, she ended up going out on burn rubber. Another very shocking fall. Not from a veteran, but still someone we were really expecting big things from.
So, other than Jessie Graff, who moved on? Who was the other female ninja?
Jerry Dorillo.
Oh, no wonder I didn't know. They didn't show her, did they?
They did. She's coming up.
Okay. I must have completely just, like, in one ear, out the other. Okay.
They fast-forwarded her, yeah.
Oh, okay, then.
After Maddie was Taj Harrington.
The kid, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he ended up... he was the... very
this kid,
how do I say this? I don't want to disrespect him. He is a very slim, young looking kid.
What?
He was like super, like he just was very slick running through the course. He like just graceful, but man, oh man, he looked like he's 12. I'll go disrespectful. Man, the kid looks like he's 12. They didn't really have much trouble leaning into that. And seemed like he weighed nothing. Like, he just floated through a lot of these obstacles.
He's very skinny, young-looking kid. That's a great point, because in just looking at him, like, in my head, mentally, I'm like, oh, there's, like, a 14-year-old on course, whatever. But, yeah, good point. He's probably not. I don't know his age, but he's got to be, like, 18, 19.
He's 19,
Yeah, wow, he looks young. But I will say this. This kid... Keep an eye on him, because he was moving around like this was like... I don't know his background, but he must be training Ninja Warrior a lot, because this kid just looks like he is so smooth on the course. Like, it's no problem to him. He got slipped up a little bit, but I have a feeling he's going to be somebody that trains quite often, and we're going to see more of him.
Yeah, he was a little reckless. Just speed kills sometimes, and... yeah, I like it really wouldn't have been hard to imagine him finishing that course at the rate he was going.
Oh, yeah. Like when he was running, I was like, oh, okay. Like, sometimes you just see off of like the way people like go through the first two obstacles,
Yeah.
you instantly like perk up and you're like, okay, this might be somebody that's gonna go all the way. Totally, in my opinion, I was like straight up perking up watching this kid.
After him, we had a fast forward of Jerry Dorilio. She ended up going out on the slingshot, but that was far enough to put her in second place for the women for the night.
Wow, slingshot was a cutoff, huh?
Yeah, it was a rough
Hard night for the women.
Definitely. After her, we had Michael Torres, who ended up taking down the whole course, looking very smooth. He's had a very busy year between the virtual wedding, getting a house, and like, I feel like you would probably relate to this package quite a bit.
Yeah. This hit close to home. I mean, I don't have a house or anything, but because I live in San Diego, where if you want a house, hey, here's $1 million you have to pay, literally. But I mean, I'm so happy for him and his wife. Seems like a really cute wedding. They were responsible doing virtually. I don't know what else to say. Props to him, man. Living the life. That curly hair.
Yeah, babyface ninja. Was all good. Moving along, I will mention Ben Mielek, who got fast forwarded. He was one of the members of RJ Roman's team. He was the Tarzan. For those who don't remember, he ended up going out on Clockwork, a shocking fall, another one, but in a spot we didn't see very often.
Yeah.
But let's get to RJ Roman, because I know you want to get to this.
What is this? Why are you doing this, RJ Roman? It wasn't the fact that he just got skipped, right? He completed the course. At this point, like, nobody else is completing the darn course. And not only that, he got the fastest time, man! Like, what are you doing? And RJ Roman, he's a well-known ninja. The run looks super entertaining because this dude just, like, gets the speed pack on and just flies through the course. Like, I would have loved to see this. Even if you show, like, halfway. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too harsh on this, Rich, but I thought it was insane not to show this.
I didn't, just because RJ got so much attention in the qualifier. I get it, right? Like, they wanted to divide things up. He did amazingly well. He did the power tower. He got a lot of attention. So I got it.
I don't know, man. Like, a lot of the runs this episode were a little bit slower paced just because of the obstacles involved, right? It's a little slower paced course. I would have liked to see some more ninjas that are faster going through the course just to amp up the pacing.
Yes, overall I agree with that, and I was thinking the same thing looking ahead at, like, all the fastest times really get skipped over, except for Joe's. It's like, we could have used a couple more of the high energy runs for sure. And it's so funny how they all ran in order. Like, the top four, like, they just kept beating each other over and over again. It was really just a strange coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
But RJ did get the top time at one point, and it was all good for him. Dougie Fresh, Devin Harrelson.
Yes, my man.
Guy with the light up shoes and the personality for days, who's been back. I think he said 5 times. I did not expect him to be back that many times, to be honest.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked. I feel like I've seen him for 3 seasons, maybe.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like 5, does it?
It all blends together.
But yeah, very entertaining. He ended up having a really good run. He has never hit a buzzer. I don't know why they'd bring that up. I guess surprising. If you expected him to hit the finals buzzer, I didn't really see him completing this extremely difficult course as his first one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good run. It was absolutely a good run. I feel bad for him. I feel like he's hit the warp wall twice now. Just never had a buzzer at the top of it. I hope he has a good qualifying run next year.
Yeah, I feel more bad for him. People will talk about it later, but poor Joe Moravsky.
Yes,
he's getting put in these villain scenarios.
Yes, for the love of it.
But it was a nice segment. I mean, I don't know if it was 100% needed to get a Dougie Fresh update and, the slower paced run, but we got it. And it was actually very, like, I was intrigued and the drama was there and I was rooting for him all the way. Dougie Fresh is just a very entertaining dude and I'm really happy for him. But I can't imagine what's going through his head. Like, he got far in the chorus. You're like, all right, I made it. I got this shot. I might get through to the finals. This is my year. We'll just leave it at that right now.
Right. A couple fast forwards, including one of my low-key favorites, Austin Gray, who ended up completing the course with a new top time, to be beaten out by Lucas Reale. Also an impressive newer ninja, not new this year, but fairly new.
Tell me one thing you know about Lucas Reale.
His last name has an E on the end.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, point taken. And I feel bad because they have given him segments. They have told us things about him. I can't remember a thing off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's the point. I mean, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe I don't remember if he's like super entertaining or whatever. But I mean, the dude seems very capable, very entertaining, and I don't know a single thing about this dude.
He needs a stuffed cat or cake.
No.
Something memorable like that so that you will not forget him again. Yeah, after him is the ever popular and one of our favorite ninjas, if not our favorite ninja, Jessie Graff takes the course.
Yay! Jessie, man, looks great. Super fit. I mean, look at those muscles, dude. But not just that. I mean, I was just so happy to see her. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Her outfit looks great. She looks very strong. How'd you feel about her run?
It was solid. I expected her to go a little deeper, I'll be honest, because, like I said before, if you amp up the difficulty, it tends to play to her strengths. But yeah, I think she does better maybe on trickier obstacles. It wasn't that she couldn't figure it out. It was just difficult.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough course on your hands and everything. But what shocked me was the speed. In particular, like the first 4 obstacles, I think, she was going at a very fast pace. And Jessie Graff isn't necessarily known for how fast she goes through obstacles, She's more of a technician. So I was pretty surprised by that. But they made a good point of being like, she wants to move on to the finals and she just has to beat a certain time. So that made sense. And it was really, entertaining seeing her go fast because I'm usually not saying that. And
to that point, before you move past that point, because I want to speak to the speed. So what I took that as, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, with that many upper body obstacles and they're fairly draining, she had to try to get off them quickly. So I think that was why she was going a little faster than she normally would, because just to conserve so much upper body strength that she needed for later on.
That is a fantastic point. That makes total sense, dude. So yeah, makes sense. Man, I feel for her because once again, I'm not going to say she would have completed last week's course or anything like that, but I feel like she'd have a better shot.
Yeah, they do like to throw the hardest city finals courses at her every single time, it seems.
She does not have it easy. Like, you look at the courses that she's had to go through compared to some of the other female ninjas, and I'm not trying to handicap what other women have done, but I'm just saying she tends to have the hardest path. Yeah,
anytime she's been in the top 3 multiple years for city finals when there's only one finisher or no finishers. She's just hitting these impossible courses. Yeah, this year she again went out on corkscrew, unfortunately. But yeah, amazing, always amazing. But moves on. We'll get to see her in the finals.
And shout out to the fact that she completed, I think it was 2 of the corkscrews, and including that insane second transition that goes super high up. So props to her. That was not easy.
All right, and the final run of the night is the weatherman himself, Mr. Joe Moravsky.
I mean, no shocker there, but
right.
I had to laugh so hard when they said that my man Dougie Fresh was on the bubble. I'm like, y'all are doing it again.
They didn't just do it once, though. So that's the thing. They've done it before. They kept going back. over and over. Like, why are they trying to make him out to be a villain? Like, he's just doing what he's supposed to be doing there, and they keep making him into a villain.
What did Joe Moravsky do? Like, who did he, like, insult or infuriate? What did he do to, like, deserve this kind of treatment? This poor guy, man.
I mean, it is possible. It's not likely, but it is possible. They've been reading some of the social media posts. I haven't seen some recently.
I haven't read his social media. Is he also? Well, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, we won't get into the details of it. But I will say that I listen to reality TV wrap-ups, who are back for this season, Taryn and Lita. So if you want to hear another ANW podcast, they did all the qualifiers in one big episode. And Lita was mentioning that she doesn't like Joe's social media, which I know he does. He's Republican, I guess would be fair to say. So I've got Republican friends
that I get along with just fine.
Exactly.
Your politics does not give you an excuse to be a jerk. So,
right. I think that's.
I mean, once again, I haven't read his stuff, so I don't know. But I'm just saying.
I haven't either, but I think that's where Lita probably clashed with him. Just guessing. So,
gotcha.
But yeah, Joe's fantastic. He's a fantastic ninja, a great person. We've had him on the podcast, and I've met him in real life. Very nice guy. And an amazing ninja, even with a dad bod.
Yeah, we really need to put some asterisks and quotes on this dad bod thing, man.
Right.
Well,
he says he put on 15 pounds. To be fair, he put on 15 pounds. That's not a small amount of weight. That's definitely gonna make a difference.
They said he weighed 185 now, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, how tall is he? He doesn't look that tall. Is he 5'10", 5'11"?
I don't think he's even that tall. He wasn't a whole lot taller than me. My guess would be 5'8" or 9", maybe.
Okay, well, 185 is, I'm not gonna say big for that range, but I mean, if you got muscles or whatever else, I mean, I don't know. Looking at him, he doesn't look like he's got a giant pooch or anything. But
he weighs the same as Dan Polizzi. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm 5'11", 155, and I've got a little baby pooch. It's really not a pooch. I don't have a six-pack anymore. We'll say that, right?
Right.
But like, I don't know. For, I guess, a frame of reference, I'm 5'11", 155. And this guy's like 5'8", 185. There you go. That said, if he's got any extra weight or whatever, he wears it well.
Yeah, he does. And he carries it well, very well, because he was able to complete the whole course with the fastest time. And thankfully, it was a joke. It was kind of a thing that he was poking fun of as well. So, I mean, it's temporary. We know he'll knock that weight off and he'll be back to full tip-top shape by next year.
He probably just needs to run around the block and it, falls off of him.
Right. Although I will say, that isn't just necessarily COVID weight. When you're a new dad, you start cleaning plates because the kids don't eat it, so then you end up shoveling it in. Totally happens. So it could be part of that too.
And I never thought of that, but that's a darn good point. I'm sure you're speaking from experience.
I am.
I never considered that, man.
10 pounds with each kid. Yes. But yeah, Joe was amazing, did a great job, and brought it back with 1 second less than Lucas, which was amazing.
Yeah, that was actually pretty crazy. This season, we've gotten at least 2 or 3 of these 1 second differences, and it's pretty crazy how often it happens, because I can't imagine they're faking it. That stuff really happening, and I don't know. Imagine being that close. Imagine doing the opposite where you're 1 off. That sucks, but it's usually they highlight the ones where you're 1 before. Yeah.
I love when they cut to to them up on the booth, because to me that tells me that it actually happened in that way. I feel like Austin or Lucas may have come after him. Who knows? But I think he did get the fastest time by that 1 second. Not that Lucas would have had to have been first, but I mean Austin or RJ may have come after him. But yeah, I do think he took the fastest time with that 1 second gap, and they were losing their minds.
I mean, I would too, man.
All right. So that was the last runner of the night. We are done. Semifinals and almost the season.
Crazy. So I don't know who made it. I can't remember everybody that moved on between these 2 episodes, but right off the top of your head, let's hear, we'll go back and forth, we can't choose the same people, but Let me hear your top pick for being last man standing.
Daniel Gill.
Damn, I was gonna choose Daniel Gill. Oh man, I should have went first.
Yes, you should have.
Okay, I'm gonna do. See, I want to say Adam Rail, but they really haven't highlighted him, so I feel like it's not gonna be him.
Right.
I'll say Najee Richardson.
Nice. I'll go Joe Moravsky.
Then I'll say Adam Rail.
And my last one, I'll say Michael Torres.
Ooh, Michael Torres. That's not a bad pick because they've highlighted him like twice.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a good sleeper, bro. That is good. Who's just randomly got a lot of like out of nowhere just highlighting? I'm gonna say RJ Roman for no reason. Let's do it, RJ. Let's represent.
It's not a bad idea. It's either him or the Cake Ninja. So
nope. Don't you bring that into the world. But man, that is not a bad pick with Michael Torres. I did not consider that, but that's not bad. But I do think Daniel Gill will probably get it.
We'll see. Or if they'll have a big dark silhouette of the actual winner and not be able to say who it was.
Man, that would be crazy.
I don't understand how they're going to do some of this, but we'll see. And, obviously we've been dancing around a subject this whole season. We're just not going to talk about it. You can go listen to reality TV wrap-ups. They talk about it right at the beginning of the episode. You guys can, and our opinions line up very well.
Yeah, I mean, Rich has three daughters. My entire life has been working with kids. I'm a children's librarian. We have strong thoughts. This is a PG show. I cannot give my thoughts without cussing. So
exactly.
I'm just going to say that.
All right. So that is it for this week. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach me as rich@ninjapodcast.com. I'm at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach you?
Yeah, hit me up at Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151. Please, for the love of God, vote. This is your time, America. Vote. I don't care what your politics are. Not telling you to vote any other way. Just vote.
All right. Thank you all very much for listening, and have a wonderful week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all.